Yo, what's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video today watching UnrealEntGaming Beyond Dragon Ball Super Golden Frieza versus Cooler Ensues as Goku trains for top 5 strongest. So we'll see what Frieza and Cooler got going on, you know what I'm saying? So they're probably fight, you know what I'm saying? Golden Frieza probably gonna flex on them real quick. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it, man.
As our story continues with both Cooler and Frieza being shown on the opposite ends of one another and staring each other down, as you can almost feel the tension in the atmosphere itself, that's when Frieza went on to address his brother by telling him, "Brings back many old memories of our childhood, doesn't it? Well, this was what you wanted, was it not? Let me once again remind you that it was your jealousy towards father for choosing me to lead over you is what drove you into exile," Frieza says. "Father saw great potential in me and you hated every bit of it, didn't you?
It, bruh.
Well, here's your chance to rewrite your story, brother. One way or another, you will see things my way, especially with what I have to offer you," he says. "But since you are so eager to fight, then why deny you of that right?" As Cooler went on to respond, "I'm not interested in your lies, Frieza. You knew that I was next in line to become ruler once father had passed his crown over," he says. "You knew that it was my destiny to lead our family, but you did what you always did best," Cooler says, "and that snake your way into becoming the favorite, didn't you? I have no desire to accept your offer, and for that to happen, you'll have to beat me into accepting," with Frieza responding, "Oh, what a shame. Then I guess that will be exactly what I will do then. I'm not your enemy here, you know. Our real enemies lie in wait," Frieza says. "I could give you so much more than what you would have been given if you'd only listen to me and hear the words that are coming out of my mouth," Frieza says. "Nonsense. My only enemy is you," Cooler says. "I'm going to do to you what I should have done a very long time ago, you little spoiled brat. And since it's been a very long time, I'm going to remind you on just how dangerous I could be." To where as soon as Cooler was then shown directly having to dash towards Frieza, that's when Cooler went on to shout, "You die, Frieza!" In which the moment Cooler had gone in striking Frieza, with Frieza being shown having to catch Cooler's punch, it was only from there where Frieza went on to respond by telling him, My, what a shame. I'd prefer standing united as one over fighting alone, Cooler." As even with the sudden surprise and shock to Cooler, that's when Cooler went on to put this into question by asking, "There's just no way that just happened. You didn't even budge. What was that spark of energy just now?" he asks. But then, as quickly as it happened while still holding on to Cooler's fist, that's when Frieza had gone in using his tail to slap Cooler across the face by telling him, "That was only a small glimpse of the true power that lies within me, big brother. Power that you too could be able to achieve if you were to simply listen." But then, that's when Cooler had proceeded to grab onto Frieza's tail by responding, "You must have forgotten who you're dealing with, Frieza. I was the one who helped bring you up and train you," Cooler shouts. As he then quickly followed up by Spartan kicking Frieza in the stomach, that's when Cooler went on to continue, "These little games of yours won't fool me. You will remember your place in this family," to where as soon as Frieza had gone and stumbling on back, by interestingly being shown smiling as he was holding onto his chest, that's when Frieza went on to respond to Cooler by telling him, "So you aren't as frail as I assumed you'd be after all," he says, "but I already know my place in this family, don't you see? I am the head of the table while you are just leftover crumbs beneath my feet. You certainly hit just as hard as I remembered you hitting, but surely you can do much better than that now, can't you? Or is this truly the limits of your pathetic power? Oh, I'll show you pathetic, Frieza." In which as Cooler had gone in dashing towards Frieza in attempting to strike him, as Frieza from that point on was quick enough in having to lean on back by avoiding it, that's when Frieza went on to respond by asking, "And how how exactly do you plan on doing that if you're just too slow? Give it up, Cooler. The tables have long been turned, Frieza says. I could give you everything that you feel is owed to you. Planets, an army, rulership, all for the price of your service and loyalty towards helping me rid the disease that plagues this universe, Frieza says. The heads of 2 Saiyans for the exchange of an empire. To where even as Frieza was shown having...
Even though I know Cooler got an extra form, right? Frieza, this form right here should be washing Cooler. I ain't gonna cap. Because remember, Frieza was training. So to be Golden Frieza, so his final forms to be strong as fuck. To be honest.
To choke Cooler with his tail, Cooler ended up doing the exact same thing by telling Frieza, "Two can play that little game, you scum!" As it only appeared as though Cooler was able to get the better of Frieza in allowing for Frieza to release his grip, that's when Cooler went on to tell him, "You must have forgot that I have a much stronger grip than you, little worm. Those Saiyans are none of my concern. You were in charge of wiping them out and it appears as though you failed. Why should I believe a single word that comes out of your mouth?" Cooler asks. "That's right, grasp for the little air that you have left because it will be your last. You have some nerve challenging me to a fight when you know the difference between us couldn't be any more clear," Cooler says. "Why, you?" As Frieza from there had gone in blasting Cooler directly in the stomach, which was actually effective enough in causing Cooler to release his grip, it was only during that point where Frieza had gone in uppercutting Cooler in the face by telling him, "So you want to play rough, do you? Well, here, let me catch you up to speed with what I've been up to since we last met. I am far stronger than you could ever imagine, and if it means breaking your bones to prove it, then I'll prove it," Frieza says. "Wake up, Cooler. You're fighting a losing battle here. Now listen to me or perish." As it was during Frieza's initial kick to Cooler's stomach in which resulted in Cooler flying out into the distance, as it almost appeared as though Frieza was in fact in full control of this battle, that's when Frieza went on to comment, "I hope that wasn't too rough. This is a waste of my time. So what's it going to be?" But then, out of nowhere, before Frieza could even finish his sentence, a massive aura burst was then seen in the distance, as Frieza quickly had gone in shielding his eyes by then looking on and responding, "What the heck? Where did he suddenly get all of this power from? He's different. He's changed. Is that a new form?" As out of nowhere through the smoke, we only then see how final form Cooler had gotten into position in getting in Frieza's face by telling him, "Oh, you didn't know, did you? Well, surprise, Frieza." "A 5th form?" Frieza asks. As Cooler from there had gone in uppercutting Frieza in the stomach by then having to grab onto his neck by telling him, "While you were busy getting comfortable with your current level, I managed to discover a level far beyond my 4th form, and I'm going to show you every bit of what it can do. Did you really think that I was going to let you overshadow me again? Come here, little worm. Prepare to get squashed." As with Cooler shown having to hoist Frieza up by the neck and then being shown having to slam him back down on the ground, with overwhelming amounts of force and pressure having to be shown behind it, with Cooler now being shown having to pin Frieza down, it was only during that moment where Cooler went on to tell his brother, "The hell with your lies. The only deal that we are going to be making is the one where you accept your death by my hands. I am the biggest between us. I am the fastest between us. I am the strongest between us, and I am the true heir to the throne between us," Cooler says. "I am going to bash your head in until there is nothing left. Your men will kneel to me. Look at you. You can barely even move. There will be no final words for you either. Now die, traitor." Which, eerily enough, as Frieza was shown being pinned down by Cooler, that's when Frieza went on to smile back at Cooler by asking, "Tell me something. Do you honestly think you are in control right now? Think about that," Frieza says. "Do you honestly think that it'll be that easy?" "Why, you're laughing," Cooler says. "What do you find so funny about this? What are you laughing at?" Cooler shouts. "You've lost your mind. Of course it'll be that easy, pest." Oh, just like you, Frieza says, I have yet to show you what I can truly do. Hard to tell? Now watch and see, big brother.
Oh,
As it was only right then and there where out of nowhere a massive aura burst had then gone in driving Cooler back, in not only resulting in Cooler having to release his grip, but that's when Cooler went on to ask, what is this? But that's not possible. Where did he manage to get all of this power from? No! What is this? What did you just do? Answer me, Frieza! As it was only shown through this golden aura where Frieza went on to respond to Cooler by telling him, did I not tell you that things were going to be a little different this time? I warned you this would happen. As impressive as this 5th level of yours is, it still pales in comparison to what you are about to experience. As lo and behold, it was only right then and there where Frieza had gone in transforming further and showcasing his golden transformation by responding, feast before your very eyes, big
Frieza,
brother,
up,
a power that I had gone to acquire a very long time ago, which now stands as my ultimate form and the peak of my absolute strength. What you see before you is my all, Frieza says. I want you to bear witness to a level that far eclipses yours in every possible way. Amazing, isn't it? Behold, my mighty evolution. From here on, you can simply refer to me when using this as Golden Frieza. A golden form, Cooler asks? What is this? When did you acquire this? How did you achieve this form? But this isn't possible. It's just not, Cooler says. Why don't we save the small talk for when you actually decide to join me rather than fight this out, Frieza responds. Unless, of course, you have a death wish that you've been keeping locked away, because if that's the case, then allow me to demonstrate the true difference between us. As it was only during this moment where Frieza had gone in dashing towards Cooler by punching him in the face, followed by wrapping his tail around his neck, and now having to further demonstrate the difference between them, that's when Frieza went on to respond to Cooler by telling him, I could help you erase the mistakes you've made and bring you back stronger than you can ever dream of becoming. To amend what was broken, Frieza says, how could you ever hope to compare yourself to my raw power like this? I'm giving you a second chance at life, Frieza responds. The option still stands. But even as he was being held in place by Golden Frieza's tail, Cooler had proceeded to punch Frieza in the face by telling him, a momentary lead in battle isn't the same as absolute victory, especially not now, not against me. Are you sure about that, Cooler, Frieza asks? As Frieza was from there shown quickly having to respond by kicking Cooler in the stomach by telling him, then perhaps I'll apply a bit more force so that I can open your eyes to the fact that this isn't your ordinary lead in battle. It's destiny, Frieza says. You are completely outclassed here and you know it, Cooler. As he then quickly followed up by having to headbutt Cooler in the face, that's when Frieza went on to continue. My offer still stands, but your time to accept it is rapidly dwindling. How is it, you ask, that your little so-called weakling of a brother was able to embarrass you like this, Frieza asks. How was it that I was able to achieve this level of power? Well, I'll tell you, Frieza says, but only if you accept my offer and stand united with me as the true bringers of power and fear, to stand as the brothers of destruction. I know that you hate those Saiyans just as much as I do. I can feel it within you. Your vengeance can be felt and echoed throughout the universe. How could you ever hope to lead if you are unqualified to fit the role of a leader, Frieza asks. As he was from there shown continuously inflicting even more punishment on Cooler, that's when Frieza went on to tell him, your jealousy has made you weak, and your self-absorbed and prideful ego is blinding you from the truth. Wake up and stand with me in ruling the universe with an iron fist that can never be rivaled, Frieza says. Because heed me, Cooler, and heed me well. Should you decline my offer, then I will kill you where you stand. This is your last chance. I will not ask you again from this point. Now then, do you accept or do you decline? With Cooler having to mumble, Except. Good, very good, Frieza responds. You see, that wasn't so hard, now was it? Thank you, Cooler. I promise that you won't regret this. The path which you will now be going down will guide you into unlocking many great things, with Cooler responding, this power. How can I obtain it? What is it that you plan to do with me if you were unable to kill those Saiyans by yourself? How could I possibly trust you? With Frieza being shown kneeling down by responding, because I will be the key that helps you unlock a power like this, along with many other great things. Would someone who was lying to you want to make you just as strong as them? I don't think so. These Saiyans are nothing like you remember the old Saiyans being like, Frieza says. These two are far beyond what you could have ever dreamed the Saiyans becoming, he says, which is why the union of two is far greater and more effective than the power of one. These two are the only ones who stand between our destinies, Frieza says, which is why they must be eliminated. And who better to have fight by my side than you? I know how dangerous you can be. I've seen it with my very own eyes before, which is why I came here to find you. The universe will know our name from every corner of each and every single galaxy, Frieza says. Together, we will welcome those Saiyans to the absolute worst nightmare of all. Reality, he says.
Doing all this just
there is so much for you to learn and take up before we make our move. I want to make sure that once we face these Saiyans that it will be the last time. Are you ready to begin? Frieza asks, with Cooler responding, universal conquest beginning with the death of those Saiyans. Then it shall be. As it was only then shown where Cooler had gone in extending his arm and being lifted up by Frieza, that's when Frieza went on to tell him, I'm glad you've come to see things my way, brother. We will return to my ship and head back to the main base. There are a few things that I need to show you first, he says. This form of yours is quite impressive. It's durable and very sturdy. If Father would have been alive to see this, he would have been very proud of you, Frieza says. However, the goal is to evolve this form and morph it into something much more dangerous than what it is now. I specifically went out of my way to choose this golden color after losing to one of those two Super Saiyans on Namek. As for you, well, you can choose whatever style and color you'd like once I show you how to obtain such power.
It will be silver.
There is still so much that I need to show you. I've seen it all, Frieza says. There is much more to all of this than meets the eye. Not only are we currently living within a multiverse, but there are warriors from other universes who are much stronger than even the ones here, Frieza says. I've seen it with my own eyes. This means that even if we succeeded in becoming the strongest in this universe, there is no guarantee that we would stand as the mightiest in the multiverse. Furthermore, within the 12 universes total come 12 other gods of destruction who rule them, and above them are their angel attendees who are far stronger than any mortal or destroyer, and above them, the mightiest angel warrior of all, the Grand Priest, and the only life form above him is the King of all, Frieza says, the ruler of everything as we know it, a being named Zeno, also referred to as the Omni King. He sits at the very top, and there are two of them, he says. I have spent years watching and studying every battle and every opponent that these Saiyans, Goku and Vegeta have faced, and I have stopped at nothing to collect as much data as I could to ensure that every inch of my plan is covered when facing them again. I have seen warriors with great potential and great power, only to fail in the end. In order for us to succeed, we would need to do what no other warrior has done in succession, Frieza adds, and that's win. But not just win against them, no. Why settle by conquering one universe when we can conquer all of them? But to do that, we must grow stronger, stronger than anyone, to become rulers of not just one universe, but all of them. As long as those Saiyans stand in our way, we will never see our plan through. If they are not killed, then they will always prevent us from succeeding in taking everything as we see fit, which is why they must die first, Frieza adds. I always assumed that my golden form would ultimately be the apex of my power, but I know that with you by my side, I could go on and possibly achieve another, and if I can climb higher, then so can you. I never liked that god of destruction Beerus, Frieza says. I always hated his guts for treating me the way he did. So once we destroy the Saiyans, he will be our next target. And with Beerus out of the way, there will be nothing and no one in this universe who will stop us. But before we get rid of him, we must end Goku and Vegeta first. The rest will fall once those two are gone anyway. As surprisingly enough, with Cooler being shown having to shrug Frieza's hand away, that's when Cooler went on to respond by telling him, "You've lost your mind, Frieza. And what makes you think that this plan of yours will even work, especially with
Come
what
on,
you just
Cooler,
told
don't be
me?
such a grouch.
You're in way over your head. You can't possibly expect for me to believe all of this will happen tomorrow, do you? You're reaching," with Frieza responding, "Well, I never said it would happen tomorrow, now did I? This will indeed take quite some time and require our full and undivided attention, and besides, I'm not alone in this. I have a team of the brightest minds in the universe helping me see this through." "You better be right about this," Frieza Cooler says, "because you sound like you've got a death wish coming. But just know that I am holding you to your word, so you better keep your end of the deal if you know what's good for you. And if what you are saying is true and the multiverse is your goal, then out of the 12 universes that exist, I want half, including your army and title as Emperor. Do you understand? So if you hold up your end, then I'll hold up mine," with Frieza responding, "Half, you say? 6 in total? Well, if it'll right the wrongs of our history, then I accept your request," he says. "Now why wait when we could begin now?" Frieza responds. "I'm sure those monkeys are well off training somewhere, so it's time that we do the same. And outside of evolving our current levels, I also need to inform you on this very useful little technique called fusion. That was something I also saw the Saiyans from both this universe and another pull off before. And soon, once the hour of their judgment comes, I will at long last have their heads for what they did. The entire multiverse will know our name. Now then, Goku, Vegeta, it's time that we even the odds once and for all. You may get the blood, but I'll get the glory, and with you by my side, brother, our union is my ticket to victory.
Okay.
Come now, Cooler.
Okay.
Let us begin." As it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse manga chapter number 6 special then comes to a close.
Alright, man, that story getting crazy. The B plot. Usually B plot's kind of boring, but nah, this Cooler and Frieza shit is kind of interesting. I'm trying to see how strong they can really get. And will it be golden Cooler for silver Cooler? I don't know. It'd be crazy. I don't know how. Damn, they trying to beat Goku. All this to be Goku and Vegeta. That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyway, watch out to UnrealEntGaming. If you like my reaction, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.